Of December 7th order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Introduction of the group here and the staff, starting with Terry.
Terry Withrow, County Member.
Jim DeMartini, County Member.
Brad Hahn, Public Member.
Bill O'Brien, alternate county member.
Annabelle Gammon, alternate public member.
Mike Van Winkle, alternate city member.
Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer with LAFCO.
Sarah Little-Penny, Executive Officer.
Rob Terrell, LAFCO Counsel.
Jennifer Goss, Commission Clerk.
Okay, thank you. We have a public comment period. Anybody who wants to speak on anything that isn't on the agenda has the opportunity to come forward now. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes of September 28th. Have a motion or corrections?
Motion to approve the minutes.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Correspondence, specific correspondence.
You have one piece of specific correspondence. It's an email from Denny Jackman regarding item 7A. And you also have a piece of informational correspondence, also from Denny. It's the latest copy of the Farmland Working Group newsletter.
Okay.
That's just informational.
If I could,
Yes.
Chairperson, I abstained from the minutes because I wasn't here, and you probably abstained too, because I don't, were you? Maybe you weren't here. Were we both absent? Right.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Just want to get that on the record. Thank you. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. Declaration of conflicts of interest and disqualifications. Anybody have a conflict to any of the items on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to the consent items. That we have out-of-boundary service application and work program municipal service review. Anybody have any comments on that, or do I have a motion?
Motion to approve consent items.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we have 7A, the public hearing, LAFCO application 2016-05 Keys 19 North and South change of organization to the Keys Community Services District. For the staff report.
Good evening, Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer with LAFCO. The item we're discussing this evening is LAFCO application number 2016-05, Keys 19 North and South change of organization to the Keys Community Services District. The project is a proposal to annex a 19-acre subdivision consisting of 91 single-family residential lots to the Keys Community Services District for water and sewer service. The project is located in the Keys area. It's comprised of two areas within the subdivision, the north and the south site. The north site is north of Norma Way, and the south site is south of Norma Way, both west of Washington Road. The proposed annexation will serve the Keys 19 subdivision, which was recently approved by Stanislaus County in October. The site is zoned for single-family residential uses, and the proposed annexation will not change or lead to a change in land use designations. In accordance with the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act, LAFCO must consider several factors when evaluating a change of organization. These factors consider the effects of the proposed annexation on the district and its services, the community, potentially affected agencies, and growth and agricultural land. A discussion of these factors can be found on pages 1 through 4 of the staff report. The Keys CSD has indicated that in addition to its current capacity, it could take on an additional 600 to 800 additional service connections, which is well below the proposed 91 lots. The site is surrounded by similar low-density residential, and it's considered infill development. Staff did receive an email, as Sarah mentioned in the correspondence, regarding future police protection for the subdivision and where the funds would be coming from. As a part of the approval of the subdivision, the county placed some conditions of approval, and they're pretty standard for any building permit for a single-family dwelling. Any single-family dwelling that comes into the county for a permit will be required to pay the appropriate public facility, fire, school, sheriff, parks fees. So they'll be paid at that time and that'll contribute to the urban services for the subdivision. Pursuant to government code, the commission may waive the protest proceedings if the following apply. 1, that the territory is uninhabited. 2, all owners of the affected territory have given written consent. And 3, no subject agency has opposed the waiver of protest. These conditions have been met, therefore the commission may waive the protest proceedings. As part of its approval, and as the lead agency, the county adopted a mitigated negative declaration for purposes of CEQA. At this time, the commission doesn't have any further obligations under CEQA for environmental review. Staff's recommendation can be found on page 5 of the staff report, which includes approval of the annexation and approval of the protest hearing waiver. That is the end of my presentation, and staff is available for any questions.
Just to clarify, the Measure E that was passed some years ago, can you explain why this is exempt from that?
Measure E is only applicable to rezones from agricultural use to residential use. The current zoning on this is R1 and was in place prior to Measure E. So there's no rezone involved. It's already zoned residentially.
And how many more around the county are like this?
I don't know an exact number. There's some scattered areas, little small areas left, probably some in Denair, some, of course, in Keys. There's a little remainder area.
And then Salida, of course.
In Salida, and Salida's got a whole separate issue. It's got some zoning already, but it doesn't have the CEQA yet, so that's a sort of a different example. But there are some smaller areas that we'll probably see that are like this, that are just kind of remainder lots.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions before I open the public hearing? Open the public hearing. Is there anybody who'd like to speak on this issue? If you could state your name so that we can.
Matt Vinson. And on behalf of the Sea Valley Properties, they weren't able to attend tonight. We do have some of the current residents here in representation as well. But we just wanted to thank the Commission, obviously, for their time for consideration, the staff's efforts with the application itself. Sarah and Javier themselves were very helpful to Odell Engineering in filling out the application. So all the way around, we just want to commend the efforts, and we hope that everything passes with both of these projects being annexed into Keys Community Service District.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, I close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Any questions, comments, or motions?
It seems like a pretty standard development to me. I don't see any issues with it at all, and I'll move for approval.
And I agree, and I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, any commissioner comments? Okay, additional matters at the discretion of the chairperson. I have an additional matter at my discretion, and that is a plaque, another plaque for Mr. O'Brien here. I'm not going to stand up because if I stand up, we won't be able to hear it on the, again, we're being televised. But Supervisor O'Brien has been off and on working on the LAFCO for 11 years, either as a full-blown member or an alternate. Which the way what I like about LAFCO is even if you're an alternate, you can speak and it's part of the discussion. Just can't vote. So Bill has been a friend to all of us and a real resource to us, and we congratulate you for all the years of service, and we're going to miss you. But I don't think you're leaving, right? You're still. Your name is O'Brien, so you still be around.
Yeah, you'll probably still find me here and there.
Yeah, but out there probably.
Probably so.
Probably shaking your finger at us. So thank you, Bill.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate this, and I appreciate all my time that I've served on LAFCO. I know at times I'm a little tough, but it's only to try to come up with the best result we possibly can. So I do like to push the boundaries and try to get to the best policy we can. So I appreciate working with everybody on here, and wish you the best of luck going forward. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Bill.
Okay, the executive officers report.
Well, I was going to talk about January, but I realize Commissioner O'Brien won't be concerned about what's going on in January as much. But on behalf of staff, we want to thank Commissioner O'Brien as well for his many years of service and really his dedication to LAFCO and always encouraging us to be a little bit more technologically advanced and improve our processes and our agenda. We really do appreciate that. We also do appreciate you asking some of the tough questions that we hope that we studied up the answer for beforehand. That's always been fun. And as always, your participation as alternate, your full participation as alternate was very much appreciated, even though you reminded us that you were an alternate. We all knew.
Yeah.
But thank you.
I'm an alternate, but I'm going to ask you a really hard question.
Yeah. In January, we do have some items not too exciting. We have our mid-year budget, an audit report, update on our fee schedule, an election of officers. That'll be our new chair and vice chair for the coming year. There's some additional out of boundaries and some applications dealing with districts that are in the works but may not make it to January. Other than that, that's all.
Okay. Any questions of the staff?
You're giving him another
Or
chance.
are you going to abstain so he can make the motion to adjourn?
Sure. I don't know, Rob might blow a gasket if I
No,
do
the
that.
attorney's getting nervous. Go ahead. We need a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. A second.
Second.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We're adjourned.